Hey team, so I thought I'd start off a new segment called Case Study Wednesdays, just giving you guys some real numbers from some real situations that really give you an understanding of where people may sit in the market at any one time. Now, understanding these numbers do continually change based on bank criteria, market rates, and all the likes, but at least it kind of puts things into perspective. I personally love to see the numbers themselves, so hopefully you guys find some value in this too. Now, I do apologize for my horrendous handwriting, but hopefully with a little bit of commentary you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about here. So this client here came in to us for a refinance. It was actually a separation. So normally you wouldn't be trying to move your lending around too much at that sort of 90% LVR. But in this situation, it was a be all and end all. We needed to get this client moved and change the title and ownership of the property over. So this client here had a base income of about $107,000. They also had some overtime and allowance income of about $12,000. Now they had a 4-bedroom home that they were currently living in on their own. So they're looking at getting a couple of boarders at about $250 each. This is a Auckland property, so pretty reasonable to expect $250 for a room plus those expenses on top of it. They also had a young child that was going to be moving in with the mother, and there was going to be some child support paid there as well, which generally does come into the equation quite heavily depending on the situation. Now, we ran the numbers through a few banks, but I thought I'd show you the best and worst case scenarios here. So the overall lending on the property was around $725,000. We were able to get Bank A across the line with that. Bank B, though, were only able to get us approval for about $640,000. Now, the big differences here were Bank B at 90% LVR was not able to use the boarder income for 2 boarders. They were only able to use 1. They're also not able to use the allowance income on top of that as well. There was also a bit of a discrepancy in terms of how much they assumed it would cost for the child support side of things. So at the end of the day, Bank A probably would have loaned them more if they really needed to. We were sort of limited by the loan to value ratio and also didn't need to take any more. But you can see quite a big discrepancy there of nearly $80,000, potentially actually more if we were to try and max out Bank A. So this is really where the value comes in talking to someone who's got access to multiple banks, because your bank may not actually be the best bank for you right now, and there could be another bank that gets you closer to that goal. Now, obviously, the overall amount of lending that you actually need is not the only factor here. There is service, there is products, there's all sorts of different things. But again, having the opportunity to have a look across the entire market is going to be really, really valuable. Anyway, team, that's episode 1 of our Case Study Wednesdays. Hopefully you got some value out of having a look at what these real numbers actually look like. And we'll be back next week with another case study for you. Cheers.